Hi everybody, it's Aluna Michaels, esoteric astrologer and quantum astrologer, coming to talk to you about what is quantum astrology. And okay, so esoteric astrology is pretty complicated. If any of you have ever read the book by Alice Bailey, Esoteric Astrology, can you see that? Or a little more user-friendly, The Labors of Hercules, which is also Alice Bailey. And I forgot to get another book off my bookshelf. If you want to hang on one second, I'll get it for you. This other book is Alan Okun, Soul-Centered Astrology, which is also very helpful if you're learning esoteric astrology. But in a lot of ways, of course, esoteric means things are hard to understand. And when we're looking at that model of astrology, it's pretty hard to understand. Those of you who are new to astrology think all astrology is hard to understand. But I was thinking about how to present some ideas in a way that might feel more user-friendly to you. So what esoteric astrology is trying to do, and evolutionary astrology, and this idea I want to put out of quantum astrology, is definitely that you're living less in your personality and more in your soul, or higher aspects of your personality, which are more from a higher consciousness, that you're feeling you're living from that higher place more often than not. And that's what the esoteric astrology and of course evolutionary astrology too, if you know that branch of astrology, are trying to help people accomplish. And so this idea of, let's just introduce this idea of quantum physics and neuroscience and neuroplasticity kind of linked together in some ways. Neuroplasticity is the idea that our brains are continually learning and growing and evolving. Things that have, like say, a trauma that's been hardwired in the brain can be unwired. Parts of the brain that are dormant can be lit up and used in new ways. That we're constantly, I think a lot of people know by now we don't use much of our brain capacity, to say like 3% or something. So this idea of quantum physics that, kind of like the universe is our oyster, forget the world is our oyster, but there's so much more. There's so much more to know. And if you've ever studied any quantum physics, it's like, wow, you go into the smallest part of the atom and you get to these subatomic particles, and it gets really interesting, more interesting than basic physics and stuff. So this idea of this neuroplasticity, that we're constantly evolving and moving, fits with quantum physics. And just a quick other little show and tell things I've got here. This movie is very wonderful if you're new to these concepts. What the Bleep Do We Know? I'm trying to get this in the camera here. Is a wonderful movie that combines a story along with some documentary style people talking about what quantum physics, how that intersects with spirituality and brain science stuff and all that, human possibility. And then here's another book that's great too, Joe Dispenza, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. It's also about, again, unwiring your brain and firing it in new ways. So this idea when we talk about astrology, and let me just say, here's an anonymous person here, when we look at astrology, we say, okay, here's our chart, right? Here's a chart. Boom. This is kind of what we're given. And kind of like with our brain, some people can say, kind of an old style of thinking would be, I'm just this way. I'm depressed. My mother was depressed. My grandmother was depressed. I've had depressing things happen. I'm depressed. This is how I am. And we can kind of say old astrology can be that way of just like, well, that's just how I am. That's my chart. And, I learned that this means that. And this planet's going to be coming and make it bad, and whatever people can get into with a limited view of astrology. But if we take this idea of neuroscience and neuroplasticity, that the brain is changing, that we can trim and prune these unhappy experiences or things we don't like about ourselves or things we don't like about how our life is going along, and we can unwire those things and rewire them. So if you think about, say, with karma, the idea that you're repeating things over and over, and we learn from neuroscience that our brains, once they do something, they kind of keep doing that, and that kind of saves energy. Like say you learn to use a doorknob. You don't want to figure out a doorknob every time you see a doorknob. It's good to store it, and then like, oh yeah, doorknob, I know how to do doorknob. But unfortunately, we know how to do trauma. We know how to do, oh, that person's going to reject me, or, whatever non-helpful things we can start to identify as ourselves. And then that becomes our karma. We're thinking in limited ways, only experiencing limited things, drawing people that fit those limited circumstances and all of that. So that is not so great to feel like that's just going along. And let me just get to my little notes here because I had some notes. But the idea that this hard wiring, we're running programs, okay, fine, but we can go past our karma, learn to work around our karmic pieces, learn to work with our chart in a higher way, This is all very exciting. And, when you learn about that, the human brain being really one of the most amazing, I'd say, machines ever invented. The way our brain has evolved is taking us to this huge place in our capacity to be able to be aware of ourselves, aware of our karma, consciously choose different things, observe ourselves. All of that is functions of our brain, and that we can go, again, we have these unused parts of our brain. Where else can we go? And, some people say, well, dolphin's brain maybe is the most evolved. And I think, well, I live here in Florida and I see a lot of dolphins, but I have not read for dolphins before. Maybe that's because their souls have merged with their personalities. They probably don't need esoteric quantum astrology, whatever. But, pretty much the human brain is pretty darn awesome when you start thinking about it. And, and then that leaves room for saying, well, if you think, you're not only depressed. You might be depressed now, but that's not all you are. You're not dumb. Your brain is so intelligent. Your brain is so filled with the capacity to do all these different patterns, that you just haven't created yet or tapped into. So it's like you don't have to just do all these same things all the time. So let's take an example astrologically of, let's say, Venus square Saturn. This is how this kind of quantum model of astrology works. So Venus's relationships and love, it's also money, but let's just say love, right? Saturn is a planet, when it makes this hard angle, like a square, would be, let's say, one of the ways, let's say you're in, regular astrology, non-quantum astrology, and your reality is you've experienced rejection in your life. Saturn can be rejection. You've had a bad divorce. It was a humiliating situation. You didn't feel attractive growing up as a kid, and you had a hard time in high school. You have a belief that you never really get a good relationship. The person's always going to choose someone else over you. All of these could be beliefs of Venus square Saturn, and they can be experiences you've had with Venus square Saturn. Maybe even people think, well, past lives. Maybe I was a jerk in past lives, so I come back and every person rejects me, and I will never get married again because I have Venus square Saturn. And people come to me like this when they know just a little astrology to make them dangerous kind of thing, I say. It's like, okay, that's regular astrology. That's Newtonian physics and classic physics. That's karma. But what about this quantum idea? So one of the things with learning to use your brain differently is the prefrontal cortex in the brain. Instead of the parts that run on automatic pilot that get into that karmic rut of this is my chart, this has always been, this will be forever. We go beyond that, and in the prefrontal cortex, we want to stimulate it in new ways. So if Saturn can also, yes, Saturn is isolation, Saturn is rejection, Saturn is sad, fine. But Saturn also is safe. Saturn also is loyal. Saturn also is dependable, committed, mature, evolved and confident. Someone you really can depend on. So having Venus working with Saturn, get the idea of the square out of there, but Venus combined with Saturn can also be those things. So one way you could work with yourself with this technique is to say, because this is one of those things that stimulates the prefrontal, is to say, what would it be like if? And that starts to get your brain firing differently. What would it be like if I attracted a partner who was loving and loyal and committed to me, made me feel confident, they had financial security, that's also Saturn, and I felt really safe with that person, that they'd never leave me. It's a true heart connection, and we are committed. And just like those other relationships I see where people stay together and, you know, work stuff out and all of that. And that's Venus, Saturn too. So, but you didn't believe it before, so you want to get yourself wondering about that, and that starts stimulating your brain differently. That's just the little beginnings of that. But I really want to impress upon you, your chart isn't stuck. You know, and then the planets that come at you, people go, oh God, this thing. And yeah, it can be this thing, but it's also that thing. How can that planetary energy be different? How is it just beyond what you could think of? And to stretch your mind that way. So that's what I wanted to put out with this idea of the quantum astrology. We're creating our world, and if we know that, we can say, gee, what am I creating? What have I been creating? Another idea I think about with the quantum model is if you say, you know, like everyone's always left me, you know, I'm this age and I've been divorced 3 times or whatever, and because I got a Venus square Saturn, I'll never get married, never be happy. Well, you can just say, if you've had all those experiences and it's, so what? So what? What does that prove? That proves you've been in that expression of it. You've been in that, you know, if we say Newtonian physics of it, you've been in that karma of it. But that doesn't mean that's the way it's going to continue to be. It will be, just like our brains, you know, once it's in a groove, it pretty much stays in a groove to conserve energy. And it takes energy to move it out of that groove and start a new groove. But if you take control of it and take notice of it even and move it over, it is not the way it's going to be over and over and over again. And you do have to do a whole lot of work to continue to fire in the new way. They say the nerves of the brain and the thoughts that wire together, fire together, wire together. And nerves that don't fire together, don't wire together. So you can learn different ways of approaching your astrology chart to rewire yourself differently and become somebody that has that solid, dependable, just love of a lifetime relationship with Venus square Saturn. It's like, so what if it's a square? So what? Let's change it. You know, we can change it. That's why we have these brains, because we learn to use the brains. And, you know, it's like you just think you have the greatest quantum machine that you got free, and it came free with your life, and you got your own carrying case. It's there. And so the chart is just a way to say, okay, this is what I started out with, just like that's the way my brain started out with it. I inherited genetics that were sad from parents or something. But there's this idea too, I haven't used epigenetics, where you go beyond the genetics, which is a whole new science too. It's like, so what? My mom was depressed, my grandmother was depressed, my great-mother was depressed. So what? I can change my genetics. I can change the way my chart feels, you know? So that's the idea of the quantum, and that also is allowing more of your soul in, allowing you to feel you're not under the gun with life, and that you get to expand your thinking and let new possibilities in, your soul express more, you're relaxed into that idea you can create your life and know how to create it best to have the most joy and fulfillment and whatever, and move past these karmic stuck spots. So that is my idea of quantum astrology, and I hope that was helpful to you. My website is alunamichaels.com, and you can definitely leave comments here if you like, or contact me through my website. And I do private counseling sessions, of course. So just remember, no matter what's going on in your chart, whether it's a bad transit or a bad aspect, whatever, a certain planet in the sign, this is something that I feel your soul wanted to have. And even if it didn't, if you just feel like you got that randomly in your chart, you can always change it. You're always going to change it, and change it within a framework that's going to make you feel really more like you, the real you you've always wanted to be. So I will see you next time. Bye for now.